By the Tampa Bay Times revealed the Pasco County Sheriff's Office is listing more than 400 at-risk students as potential future criminals.
The Tampa Bay Times investigation found that the Pasco County Sheriff's Office has maintained a secret. Robert is part of a lawsuit against Pasco County Sheriff Chris Naka. All four plaintiffs are alleging harassment and claim the program violated their constitutional rights during search and seizures. Sheriff Nako has denied the claim.
3, 4, 5. They didn't even wait for me to come home. They come home early when my kids were home and bang on the windows and doors and where's your dad at? Where's your brother at?
Robert says the STAR team started ticketing him for things like his grasping.
Florida resident Tammy Hallman was forcefully removed from her home after years of being harassed by the Pasco County Sheriff's Office.
It all started when my son got in trouble. The police just started coming to us.
License restrictions for transgender Floridians. According to the FHSMV, Florida driver's licenses should reflect individuals' sex assigned at birth and not gender identity. The memo says
a memo stating that transgender Floridians could in fact be punished by civil or criminal penalties if their identified gender does not match the one listed on their driver's license.
Florida would actually become the first state in the country to flat-out ban child marriage. It's the kind of proposal that's been met with some unusual pushback in other parts of the U.S.
58-year-old Snyder seeks financial compensation and to remove or edit parts of the series and the trailer. Snyder is known for numerous Nick hits, including, quote, All That, iCarly. Kids. He saw some things, obviously, that wasn't pleasant to children and did nothing about it. So, Jordan, this is obviously going to go through the judicial process, and many may be, put under oath and possibly indicted.
An update to the state's high school sports forms athletes have to fill out, and it's raising eyebrows.
New question, asking girls intimate details about their monthly cycles. News 4's Taylor Mitchell is looking into why these
benefit of being born in a marriage. I don't see that as a good state policy. If they're both 16 years old and they can consent to sexual relations at 16 and they're about to have a baby, why wouldn't we want
kids who have been married at age 12?
That was the law. You voted not to change it.
Do you know any kids who have been married at age 12?
I don't need to.
I do. And guess what? They're still married.
Gentlemen.
And they have the nerve to call Democrats groomers?
Ripe fertile age, and may have a pregnancy and a baby involved. Are we not, in fact, making abortion a much more desirable alternative?
Currently, children can marry as young as 16 in West Virginia with parental consent. Anyone younger than that must also get a judge's waiver to get married.
I think everyone here in the state Senate supports the idea of a floor for marriage. But we also want to make sure that those 16-year-olds like my mom and dad, that we're not somehow standing in the way of those types of relationships.
They must pay more than $200 million to the victims of their Kids for Cash scheme. Former Luzerne County judges Mark Civarella sent children as young as 8 to for-profit prisons.
So they sent thousands of minors to prison, some as young as 8 years old, for reasons like petty theft, jaywalking, truancy, smoking on school grounds, and other relatively minor infractions.
The Sheriff's Office has reached a settlement in its controversial intelligence-led policing program.
Yeah, for more than 3 years, Sheriff Chris Nako's agency faced litigation in which critics accused it of discrimination and harassment. Investigative reporter Brittany Muller joins us now live.
Landmark settlement has been reached tonight with the Catholic Archdiocese of Los Angeles to settle more than 1,300 claims of childhood sexual abuse. The Archdiocese will pay $880 million.
The Attorney General says the doctor who gave a pregnant 10-year-old an abortion could now face charges. That child traveled from Ohio to Indiana for the procedure after a man had raped her.
Then we have rape survivor from Ohio had to cross the state lines to get an abortion, as her home state banned the procedure after the Supreme Court ruling. Thousands had protested the overturning of Roe v. Wade. They had asked about the rights of the women.
You may be surprised to learn a decades-old law still on the books in Michigan allows young children to get married. In some cases, that means underage girls becoming the wives of adult men.
Hard to believe, but it's something a group
as young as 11 years old forced to marry the men who raped them.
Yeah, and what's even worse here, Florida law allows this to happen. New tonight, ABC Action News anchor Paul Lagrone exposes the marriage license loophole that essentially legalizes child
her
rape.
son, and she saw this image here. You can take a look. That's horrifying. That's a window in a bathroom. The addition of the windows was advanced to comply with guidance from the Independence Law Center. Okay, so in Pennsylvania is coming under fire, rightfully so, after they greenlit the installation of windows inside gender-inclusive bathrooms, allowing students, teachers, and other passersby to see inside of the bathroom.
Deputy gangs within the LA County Sheriff's Department has been the subject of investigations. A special counsel report early last year found at that time a half a dozen deputy gangs or cliques with names like Banditos.
You can get married in West Virginia even if you are younger than 16 years old, as long as a judge is cool with it. The bill would establish that 18 is the age of consent and remove the ability of a minor to obtain consent.
Child marriage is a diverse issue with lifelong consequences.
Increased risk of domestic violence, poverty, lack of education, severe mental and physical health issues are also...
Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware are the only states where 18 is the legal age to get married. In 10 states, the legal age is 17. In 21 states, you have to be 16. In 3 states, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which found nearly 300,000 children under the age of 18 were legally married between 2000 and 2018. Minnesota, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware.
Child marriage. Most states allow marriage before a person turns 18. It's only illegal in 4 states, and 2 of them, Pennsylvania and Minnesota, just banned the practice this month. According to data from...
and senior pastor at Gateway Church in Southlake. A woman has come forward alleging Morris sexually abused her as a child for 4 years, starting in 1982. In response to the allegations, Morris reportedly told the Christian...
states in the country, including, and I didn't know this, California, Michigan, Mississippi, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Washington, and West Virginia, without a minimum age requirement for marriage. And it currently ranks among the top 10 states in the country for child marriage. 100,000 girls and boys in the United States were married before reaching 18 years old between 2000 and 2018. Under current Tennessee law, one can get married as young as 17 years old. But
there have been more than 3,600 marriages in the state involving 1 or more children. Again, to be clear, that means you can get married in West Virginia even if you are younger than 16 years old, as long as a judge is cool with it.